Hey YouTube and vinyl community. I am back after just a week. The reason is because my discount store has had a lot of stuff, and I've gone ahead and splurged on just about everything I've wanted to pick up there. So just a week ago, again, I keep notes just to for my own records, for myself to keep track of what I'm buying and how much I'm paying. So on 8/20, I walked in after work, and they had a ton of these. They had about probably 25 of these. These being Tom Petty, Full Moon Fever, like one of the best albums ever. I mean, just about like every song on it was a hit, right? At least, I mean, if there's 10 songs on the album, 5 of them were a hit, right? I mean, that's batting 500, to use a baseball analogy, even though I don't even like baseball. All right, so Tom Petty, Full Moon Fever was $15.99. I was very happy to pay that amount. I have had this on CD for decades, probably, since it first came out. So I'm really happy to have this on vinyl. This John Hyatt, this had been there for a while. They had a bunch of them too, and they were really expensive. They were like $32, $34, something like that. So I was like, I'm just gonna wait. Because they have so many of them, I'm just gonna wait, and they're gonna put them on clearance at some point, or at least discount. So finally, one of the things I saw when I walked in that night is that it had been discounted to $17.99. So I was like, heck yeah. So it's music on vinyl. It's a double LP, and it sounds great. Am I the biggest John Hyatt fan ever? No, but do I like him? Yes. So I was into it for $18. I wasn't into it for 30 something. So then they had a whole bunch of Bill Evans. I bought this record once before, but it had a big gouge taken out of it, so I just returned it, and they didn't have another one at the time. So I was like, well, I'll just wait, or maybe I'll just never have it. But yeah, so I got there, and Waltz for Debbie was the first of 3 Bill Evans records that they had. This was $14.99, and I think really like the low on Discogs is about 30 right now. So I mean, this is like a really good deal on this record. Also, it's such a good record. In the past, I have said I'm not the biggest Bill Evans fan. After listening to these 3, at least a couple times each, I've listened to this one a few times. I've changed my mind, and I don't know what was wrong with me in the first place, because Bill Evans is amazing, right? So this album is so incredible. If you come upon it, especially if you come upon it for, how much did I say? $14.99. Pick it up for sure. It's a steal. It's an absolute steal at that price. Then they also had this, which is Sunday at the Village Vanguard. These are also these original jazz classics that, they have the OB strip on them. They're craft recordings. And this one is on the Riverside label. Is this one also? Yeah, this is also on the Riverside label, which, it's just a label that you see and it's going to be a good record, right? So yeah, this is amazing. And I had never heard this before at all, so I was just like, they have all these Bill Evans records, I'm going to just buy them all. So yeah, I've listened to this a couple times too, and yeah, my mind has changed about Bill Evans. I finally heard him at the right time, to be like, this guy's amazing. So here is Bill Evans at the Montreux Jazz Festival. Did I say at the Village Vanguard? I don't think I did. I'm trying to say, oh yeah, so Sunday at the Village Vanguard was $9.99. That's just insane. I mean, it's just insane. That's so cheap. That's so cheap for any record right now. But Bill Evans records are usually super, super expensive. So yeah, $10 for $10 for that record is amazing. So this one is Montreux. I said that already. So this one was a whopping $12.99. It's also amazing. And it has the really cool hype sticker on it. All right. So then they also had this. They also had Jerry Mulligan. This actually was a few days later. So I went back on August 24th, and there were 3 things that I bought. The first being this Jerry Mulligan, and it's an acoustic sound series, and it's on Verve. So these, I'm sure you know already, I'm sure this isn't news, but these are very much like the, she says it and then can't remember what they're very much like. It's just not coming to me. The Tone Poets. So the jacket is like really, really, really nice, super, super glossy. The packaging is just beautiful. So Jerry Mulligan sent me back $19.99, which is pretty darn good price for this. I think like the low on Discogs is around $30 as well. So find yourself a discount record store is all I can say. Then this one, Nora Jones, this is Come Away With Me. This was, when did this come out? Like 2000, somewhere around there. And it was just probably more like 2004, 2005, something like that, I'm going to say. And you just couldn't have found a more popular record, at least in the sort of like circles that I run in, because like every lesbian I know had this CD and played it all the time. So yeah, I including me, I still have this on CD. So when I saw it, I was like, is this something that I'm happy with on CD, or do I want the vinyl as well? And as you see, the decision that I made was I would like to have the vinyl as well. So this was $14.99, which is a pretty darn good price. I don't know what it's saying on Discogs, but I know it's more than this. So then this was when I really was like, I'm probably not going to get this, and then I just decided to grab it. Chris Isaak, Heart-Shaped World. Maybe the only record or the only CD that was bigger than Nora Jones was this Chris Isaak record, because I mean I lived in the Bay Area when this came out, and you could not turn the radio on without hearing Chris Isaak. And Chris Isaak appeared in San Francisco like all the time. I mean, he was constantly having shows there. One thing that is cool about this is that it's on the Sun label. I think that's always a lot of fun to see something like that. Do I like Chris Isaak? Yes. Do I love Chris Isaak? No. So I was a little bit on the fence. I was like, do I want to get it or not? And then I'm like, this is a chance for me to get something that I couldn't afford back in the day. So I went ahead and grabbed it. And the reason that I could afford it is it was $12.99. If I was at a regular record store and these were, $30, I wouldn't be buying them. So when they're like half of that, that affords me the luxury of being able to pick up, sort of extra things. So, I mean, I would have gotten the Jerry Mulligan for sure. And then, with Nora Jones and Chris Isaak being not a ton of money, I was able to pick both of them up as well. And I'm glad to have them. I mean, I've listened to this twice, and I really, really enjoy it. I've listened to the Nora Jones maybe 4 or 5 times now, and I'm really happy to have it. I listen to that CD all the time. So yesterday, I stopped by after work, after a really long, long, long week at work, and I saw this, and I went, oh, fuck. Because it was expensive. It was $39.99, but it was a record store day record, and it's one that at the time I was like, oh, I'd like to get that, but you know, just because it was a little expensive, and I think it was more than 40. I don't know what it was during record store day, but I was like, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get this. So it's also numbered. Now, if I can manage to get this out, I think I can. So I don't know if it'll focus, but it's 479 of I don't have my reading glasses. It's some strange number, like 2,650 or something like that. But this is a low number, so I thought that was pretty cool. They just had 2 of these. I sent a text to my friend, and he said he'd pass since it was so much money. But he did ask about this one. This is Charles Mingus, also from Record Store Day. I definitely wanted to get this and just decided to not, because I think it was just the last Record Store Day. And I was getting the Tragically Hip, which was pretty expensive. It was like about $45, so I just decided I would just get that. Also, I didn't go to Record Store Day. My friend went for me, or he went, and because he wasn't getting Tragically Hip, he said, go ahead and just sleep in and I'll get it for you, and then we'll meet up later in the day. So so I got this, so I was happy when I saw this. I was like, heck yeah, I'm getting that. There's no way I'm not. It was $17.99. I don't really remember the price during Record Store Day, but I'm going to say probably like 25 or 27. So, you know, sometimes the discount store will get in exactly what I decided not to get, you know, at full price. Does that happen all the time? No. Does it really happen quite a bit, though? Yeah, it does, actually, which is pretty cool for me. And, I mean, it might just be that my musical tastes are a little bit different than, say, the general public. You know, I don't have a lot of Taylor Swift in my collection, stuff like that. You know, I have more Charles Mingus than Taylor Swift, let's put it that way. So, happy to have it. I just listened to it once last night. And the same with the Cannonball Adderley. I listened to it this morning and was like, wow, this is amazing. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy to have both of these. Then they also had this. You can really see my reflection in this one. I talked a little last week about why I don't show myself, because I have a stalker. It's an ex who just won't leave me alone. And yeah, so I just made the decision when I wanted to start a YouTube channel, you know, to talk about records, that I would just, you know, be myself, which is being super, super low tech, which is using my iPhone, setting the records in my easy chair, keeping a, you know, handwritten log of the stuff that I'm buying. And it just so happens that I'm not ever showing my face because I just don't want her catching up with me again. You know, it's like I've had to change stuff in the past because she just won't leave me alone. So I don't want her catching up to me here. It's not that my channel is so awesome or has so many followers, but I just do this because I like it, and I don't want to have to sort of like stop because all of a sudden I'm being bombarded by someone. So anyway, I didn't really mean to talk about that. I just see that you can see my reflection. So this is the Police Ghost in the Machine. I did not have this on vinyl. I never even had this on CD or cassette or anything like that either. So, you know, I've also talked in the past, like when I was in college, I was just dead poor. So I had Synchronicity on CD, which I think I bought the CD used probably. But at the, you know, until recently, that was the only police I ever had. So when I saw this at $17.99, I decided to grab it. So I did. Then this morning I got a text from my friend saying, you know, hey, did you buy this? Hey, did you buy that? And I said, no, that wasn't even there when I was there. So I guess after I went home, or after I left the store, which was around 5, my friend went in, you know, in the evening, and he's like, he's gonna look up how to say her name because I always butcher it to death. So I'm just going to call her Michelle. And that is because I just don't want to mess up her last name like I have every single time. So he said, did you get this? And he just said the Michelle Indicello. That's as much as I'm going to do because I don't want to mess it up anymore. And I said, no, I didn't even know. They didn't even have that while I was there. So what I didn't know, and I should have connected the dots because they do get in current stuff quite a bit, is it's the No More Water for the Gospel of James Baldwin. And I just heard recently an interview with her on NPR talking about this. And I think it was on the anniversary of James Baldwin's birthday. And the interview was just so captivating and amazing that I was like, yeah, I hope that I see this record someday. And I didn't even realize when he said, hey, did you get that? That's what it was going to be. So when I got there and I just, it's kind of hard to see on the album because it's tiny, tiny, tiny. You can maybe just see James Baldwin there. So just kind of out of, as I glanced at it, I saw James Baldwin and I went, oh God, this is that record. Fuck. Of course I'm getting this. And then I also saw the sign that said that everything in the department was 20% off. So I got this for $10.39. It's a double LP. It's in, the sleeves it's kind of in the way so you can't see it, but it's on tangerine vinyl. I'll turn it around again and show the hype sticker, though the hype sticker isn't all that amazing. But I gotta tell you, this is without a doubt the best thing I have listened to this year. I put it on when I got home, and I was completely blown away. I had the hair on my arms stood up at times. I got the chills at times. This thing, oh my God, it's so amazing. And I've just listened to it once. I can't imagine when I listen to it more. I just can't imagine how more amazing I'm going to find this the more and more I play it. And to me, it was just sort of one, a symphony, it has a starting and an ending. It's not, a group of songs. It just flowed together so amazingly. It honestly, it reminded me of some Joni Mitchell albums. I just can't think of the name. Shoot. The one that has Paprika Plains on it. It's blue and it's brown. Oh God, I hate it when I do this. I've listened to that album a million times. I have 2 copies of it. Not coming to my head. All right, I'm gonna move on. When I put that album on, it flows all the way through. I don't feel like I'm listening to separate songs. I'm just listening to one complete symphony. And I felt like that through just my first time of playing this today. So if you see this, please, please, please buy it. Trust me. Please, please, please buy it. Also, it's on the Blue Note. It doesn't have the Blue Note label that we're familiar with, but it is a Blue Note. I'll show you right there. It's not going to focus, but you know that ellipse. I still can't think of it. I love that album. I love the Joni album so much. I can see it. I can see every photograph, every photo that's on it. The only thing in my head is Paprika Plains. All right, I'm going to move on. So here's the last one. My friend told me about this one too. He said, hey, grab this. And that's when I was like, wait a minute, they didn't even have that. Because 300% Dynamite, because he sent me a picture of this. And I was like, they didn't even have that. And he's like, you should go pick it up. It's awesome. So I did. So, I have not listened to this yet, but it's called 300% Dynamite. It's got to be great, right? Soul Jazz Records presents. I love it. Ska, soul, rock steady, funk and dub. in Jamaica. I mean, and gosh, look at that hype sticker. That it starts there and it goes all the way down to there, right? So if that wasn't enough, it's also on this beautiful blue vinyl with this amazing label. Look at that label. It's so gorgeous. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to put this on and listen to it. So yeah, that's everything I bought. I think it's 13 records, if I recall correctly. Did I say how much this was? It was $19.99. It was like $25. And I was like, oh, I'm not going to get that. It's $25. And then I saw the sign that said 20% off. And I was like, oh, I am going to get this. So I'm glad I did. So I bought, 13 records in the last just a little over a week. That's a lot for me. But with this store, when it rains, it pours. You know, I'll sometimes go 2, maybe even 3 months without them ever having anything new in the record. So when they do have stuff, I'm like, heck yeah, I'm going to pick that up. So I'll leave you with this great cover again. I'll let you know if this is as amazing as it looks. It sure looks good, doesn't it? All right. Peace out, vinyl community.